The dispute between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Chancellery of the President Andrzej Duda is escalating. President Duda refuses to give his consent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs nominating candidates for several very important positions in the world, including the United States, while the Foreign Affairs Committee of the same approves successive candidates from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, knowing that there will be no such consent. Why does the government play into the lowering of the ranks of our representatives abroad? I cannot accept that the personnel policy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is determined by the delusions of law and justice. It is unacceptable for the President to determine the personnel policy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for many years after he is no longer President. The President signs the appointment of ministers and professors, but he does not decide who becomes a minister, professor, or ambassador. This is not true. The fact that the President appoints and dismisses ambassadors is stated not only in the Polish Constitution, but also in the Vienna Convention of 1961. It is also a long-standing international tradition that the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is breaking, and he is surely aware of it. There is no possibility of representatives being empowered by the head of state, so the situation of the Polish Foreign Post changes. A chargé d'affaires institution appears in place of the ambassador. The whole dispute started when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs recalled the ambassadors despite the clear opposition of the President. We do not agree with this scandalous and unconstitutional procedure, which undermines both the legal system and Polish diplomacy. As a form of protest, we have left the committee meeting and will not allow this kind of action. The President protested vehemently against the sacking of the Polish ambassador to the United States and the appointment of his successor. If you send a man who was a Minister of National Defense at the time, in charge of the Polish army, to the United States, we'll become a laughingstock. I will never sign this ambassadorship. Maybe when the next president comes, I don't know what he will do, but I won't sign it. I won't disgrace Poland. This is sabotage. Klitsch will not inspire confidence in the American people. They're sending a man who insulted Donald Trump, a man who has a good chance of winning the presidential election. Nevertheless, the Foreign Ministry dragged Poland's ambassador to the United States, Marek Magierowski, back to Poland before the end of his term, and is now publicly picking a fight with him, accusing him of trying to get rich from the Foreign Service. Previously, it accused Anna Maria Anders of fleeing to the United States while she was in Rome. We really tried to do this smoothly, and then we got some demands from companies, not from the Foreign Ministry. This is not the way to do it. Serving Poland cannot be a way to become rich. These are classic Eastern Bloc tactics for crushing people, intimidating them, forcing them to obey. The Sejm's Foreign Affairs Committee today gave a positive opinion on, among other things, the candidacy of Maciej Hunia for the post of ambassador to Israel. He is a former officer of the Special Services, including the State Protection Office and the Internal Security Agency in the 1990s, head of the Military Intelligence Service and the Intelligence Service. A close associate of Bartłomiej Sienkiewicz, he is also a member of the so-called Krakow Group in the Special Services. The brutal attack by Hamas, the launch of a military operation in the Gaza Strip, and the increase in tension on the border with Lebanon will continue to occupy the Israeli authorities for some time to come, leading to the assumption that real diplomacy will only be possible once a process of calming the situation has begun. He is a candidate well known to everybody who watched Reset. Known for his intelligence activities, the General of the Special Services was received with great surprise. He does not deal with Polish-Jewish relations. Not many viable ideas were put forward as to how Mr. Ambassador would implement them. He caused astonishment. Sending the head of the Secret Service to Israel will be met with great astonishment in Tel Aviv itself. And this, in turn, will have a negative impact on our international relations. Editor Holdinska, TV Republika.